Hey everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to design your own custom background for a class composite photo using Photoshop. Let's jump in. To start, we're going to open the composite template PSD file here. You can find this PSD on our website. I'll put a link in the notes below. Alright, so here we have our PSD file. We can see over here on the right we've got lots of layers. Each one of these little template options is going to show us kind of what that template would look like. And so we'll know how to design and where we can put our design elements and which areas we need to leave blank. And so I'm going to go ahead and we'll start with a 14 by 15 template. I also want to draw attention to this notice here that says keep important elements inside red border. The edges of the print get trimmed off during the printing process, and it's a very small amount. However, if you had your text all the way on the edge of the print border, chances are you'd lose a little bit of that text. Alright, so I'm going to come over and turn off that warning. And I can see that I still have the guides left behind, so it's kind of a good reference point. So for this example, as I mentioned, we're going to do the 14 to 15 student template. As you may remember or may know, on our website, whenever you order a class composite, basically it prints whatever nodes have a student picture inside of them. And so if you were to leave the bottom corners empty, these would just be blank white spaces. Not super critical to know for this design, but just an FYI. You can also see up here there's a spot that says faintly line 1 optional text and line 2 optional text. Again, these are options that you can add when placing the order through our website, so that if you want to update, say maybe the class name or the teacher's name on one line and then the year or the grade level on the other line, you can do that simply using the website without having to create a lot of different background image files for all of your composites. So let's get started. We're going to import a logo to begin with, and we can resize it, set it to where we want it to go. In this case, I'm going to be planning on not using the entire width. Again, this line 1 optional text basically just means that it could potentially go all the way out to the edges, but in my case I'm certain I'm not going to use that much. But I will use that guide to kind of help me figure out where to place the top and the bottom of the logo. And then let's go ahead and just put our school name here. Maybe we'll put a fun font. There we go, adjust our size. Okay, perfect. Alright, we'll make just a last adjustment to the positioning of the text. That looks good. The last thing we want to do is we're going to hide this template because we don't want to see that. And so this is what we're going to export. And just so you know, all of our templates ranging from as many as 32 image nodes down to 14 image nodes, they all have the exact same text location. And so if you create one template that you want to use for, whether your class is 32 students or 14 students, that same template should work on every single one of those templates, as the image nodes never cross above this guideline. And the text nodes are always in the same position on those layouts as well. In a moment, I'll show you the 39 to 40 template, which is a little bit different and has a little bit different location for the text, and so you'll want to be mindful of that. Let's go ahead and finish saving our 14 image template. So we'll go ahead and just click File, Save As, and we're going to save it right there. We'll call this 14 students. And instead of saving it as a PSD, we're going to save as a copy, because we need to have this be either a JPEG or a PNG. JPEG is usually ideal in this scenario. So we'll go ahead and save this as a JPEG. There we go, and then the maximum size. Now, just for the sake of showing what we'd need to do if we had one of those larger classes, 39 to 40 students, here when I turn on this template, we can see that the spacing is no longer quite right on as it was earlier. This guide is no longer relevant to the positioning of the top row of images, and so we're going to want to reposition things so that they fit within this spacing. In this case, I think I will put our logo right here. I might actually make it a little bit bigger, and we'll move our text down as well. Alright, perfect. And once more, we're going to want to turn off this semi-transparent layer, and then we will save this image same way that we did last. We'll click Save As, and we're going to save it as a copy, and we're going to name this one 39 students. And we'll save it as a JPEG again. Now the designs that I've made so far are relatively simple, but if you've got some design skills, then you can easily create, more elaborate and customized designs. And so I'll show just kind of a quick example of that. You can add in, say maybe a gradient with this cool color that drops in under the back of the images. I think this looks kind of cool. You can add in whatever design elements you can imagine and create as an elaborate or simple of a design background as you choose. Okay, now let's go and order a sample print. So I'm going to go to qprints.com, and you'll see that we've got the option for either 8x10 class composites or 8x10 class composites with background image. We're going to want to select the composites with background image option. Alright, so we're going to start with our 40 image design. So first things first, let's go ahead and just click here on the background, and we're going to go back to our folder, select our background, open it, and there we go. It's laid out pretty nicely. Now we can add in the text that we wanted to. So in this case, maybe we'll call this the 6th grade class. We can put the year here. There we go. And now we can just click through and add our images as I've shown in previous videos. And there we have it. Everything is now laid out. Something to remember is that when you leave an image node empty, it will just disappear when the image goes to print. And so this won't actually show up as a white box. It will just show the nice gradient in the background. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the notes below.